Hi, my name is Andrew Newland. Today I want to take just a couple seconds and introduce you to my sister Lisa. If you know her, you absolutely love her. If you don't, you will very shortly. She's the sweetest, funnest lady you will ever meet. Growing up, we were inseparable. We have been called the Bobbsey twins, which, come to think of it, I don't have any idea who the Bobbsey twins are. I feel pretty old, and I feel like I should know who the Bobbsey twins are, but we were really close. About the only time that we weren't together is when I was outside playing football with my friends, and she was inside playing the piano, which she was always doing. Or those times that she TP'd my room when I was asleep, or turned a tape recorder and recorded me while I was asleep. I don't forget anything. But today, I'm not here to tell you all these awesome stories about us growing up. I'm here to tell you about my sister's new ministry at a place called MTI. I'm not going to go into the details because she is going to do that, and it's incredible. The reason I'm here is she hasn't asked me to do this at all. She just asked me to make a video, and so I have all this great footage of her telling what she's doing now and about the ministry in her heart. You're just going to see it gushing with love for these missionaries. But I'm here because I want you to prayerfully consider supporting my sister financially. It is difficult. My sister was a missionary in Africa for 8 years, and it is easier to raise support if you're going overseas to a place where the spiders are this big, right? And you're going out in the bush and you're telling natives about the gospel. I mean, it's just easier for people to get behind that. Well, my sister now, the Lord has led her to a place called MTI, which is in near Colorado Springs, Colorado, which is where we grew up. And it's a training institute. It is no less important. It's just harder to raise support. But it is no less important. So as you see this, I would ask that you would prayerfully consider supporting her.
So the Compass program is a month long. So we start at 8:15 or 8:45, depending on the day.
Those are a little bit different.
I know. Well, sometimes I start upstairs for devos with the adults, and sometimes we have it down here. And then we're done at 4 o'clock. Yeah, and so usually the morning we have an hour, and then we have recess, and we have another hour. So we have 2 really solid good hours for something heavier in their workbooks, something that we're talking about. And then the afternoon, then the parents pick them up for lunch, and then they come back about 1:15, and then we have, and the afternoon is usually lighter. We have like 45 minutes. There might be a game that relates to what we talked about, or that's when we work on our pillows. They have a sewing project, so we'll do that often in the afternoons. And then Fridays is movie day because they're completely shot, so afternoon we have movie. And again, it usually relates. Like Narnia, because the kids are entering into a new world, and yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can pull out of different movies. Book, but it's also, we use blue and yellow clay, and the yellow represents one country and the blue another. And so you're completely yellow, and then when you move to your new country, you start adding blue, and you got this clay, and it starts getting swirly. But the longer you're there and the younger you are, you become completely green. Instead of, like, you're not really American and you're not your new country, you're this, we call it third culture kid. And so it's a big thing for them to understand that before they go, that this is going to affect them a lot, and that's okay. Yeah, but that's one of the really big takeaways, I think. So this is my Yay Duck and Yuck Duck, our classroom Yay Duck and Yuck Duck, and they represent paradox, and because they're a pair of ducks, and the idea that in paradox, it's okay to say you like something and you don't like something at the same time. It's okay. So especially for kids moving overseas, there's yuck things and yay things. Do not like leaving my friends. Do not like leaving my friends, saying goodbye to my school. Really excited about the new food, or going to see, whatever's amazing in their country. So one day they might be so excited about getting on that plane, and the other day they're completely down in the dumps and can't, wish that their parents wouldn't have destroyed their life. And so, but just the idea that they go together And it's okay to like something and not like something at the same time. And it's actually really good to talk about it, what I don't like right now or what I do like. Paradox. Another one is transition bridge. Just realizing that this is a massive adjustment for them, and there's going to be a chaos stage, and it's going to take time, and to be okay with that if you have all these emotions inside and you don't know how to handle them. That's probably okay. And so the parents have a lot of these same lessons, and so they have these, like this, what's my word? A vocabulary that you just say yuck duck, and the whole family knows what you mean. Or you say, I'm in chaos, and they have this picture of the bridge, and they know exactly what it means, and so it helps them helps communication with the whole family too, when they're going through the chaos, and go, okay, we need to give him some space, because he's, it's a bad day for him, it's okay. Help families understand what's coming. And so one of the things we do is an illustration, the twang illustration, and we take Chinese jump ropes and we stick one guy in the middle and two guys on each side, and you pull it as taut as possible, and then the guy who's talking, giving the illustration, he's like pulling it and twanging the guy right on the stomach or the back. And the idea is if your expectation, the farther your expectation is from reality, the harder the twang. So if you can move your expectation in closer, then it twangs and it doesn't hurt as bad, because you kind of know what it's going to be like. It's still incredibly difficult, but if you're just more aware of what's coming, it's not going to be so hard to handle, hard to bear. So there's expectation and reality. There's your other people's expectations on you, and anyway, it's a good illustration of what's coming and how there's going to be a lot of twangs. So in 2008, before I headed to Tanzania, I came through MTI for pre-field training. And I left with a lot of just more awareness of what was coming and how difficult it was going to be, and to just be willing to kind of give myself grace through the journey, and that I'm going to be a mess at times, and that's okay. So I think that's the goal of MTI, is to just kind of help families understand what's coming. So we make paradox pillows, and we actually start with 2 little material, and this is our yay duck cloth, and then we have a yuck duck, which is just something brown, and so each day we add a piece of material, whatever they want, to their pillowcase, and but each one needs to have some kind of meaning, like pick a material that makes you think of the new country you're going to, or a hobby that you like. And so we have this whole set of shelves full of different fabrics that they can add to their pillow, and then we connect it all, and we use red thread to talk about how Christ, because of his blood, he redeems all parts of our lives and makes it beautiful. And then there's like a little yellow thread that goes through as well, that represents his presence, like his sovereign presence through every piece of our life, that whether it's good, the good parts and the bad parts. So we slowly work on sewing the fabrics together all month, and they get to take home their paradox pillows. Book Annie and Anya, it talks about Annie from America moving to Russia and meeting a girl named Anya. And what we talk about the first week is about being closed or open. And Annie was very closed at the beginning. She didn't like Russia. She was very closed to learning new things or tasting new foods. But later on, she met a friend named Anya, which means Annie apparently in Russian, and they became good friends, and she started opening up and learning some language and loving the food and things. And so throughout the book, we ask the kids to be closed when Annie's closed, and to be open when she opens up. Mm-hmm. So one thing I am super excited about is that part of Compass is language learning. And so I've been in Tanzania for 8 years. And so I get to turn my classroom into a little bit of an East African flair. And they have to learn some Swahili, and they have to greet me in Swahili. And then we learn different words for like notebook and pencil. And so every morning they hear those same words. And so I love that I get to pull in some Swahili and throw it at them and get them excited that they can learn their new language.
Over 400 missionaries came through, prospective missionaries came through last year, representing 74 countries and 69 different agencies.
Isn't that incredible? What a needed ministry. How many families can we prevent from splitting up? How many kids can we prevent from having that whole missionary kid stereotype, right? Where they're worse than most kids, and they're leaving and they're rebelling and they're causing all these problems and they never come back. And worse, they leave the Lord. But this ministry is preparing them through expectations, twangs. I mean, they're using rubber ducks and pillows and books, and it's awesome. So I'm going to ask you again, will you help my sister financially? It's weird for her to ask, but she needs it. She can't do this ministry without financial support. Will you be one of those that will commit to $10 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month, $500,000? There might be somebody out there that could just pay for the whole thing, and that would be great. This is no pressure. I'm not going to make you feel guilty. You know. If you want to help, you know. And we would rather people that really want to rather than that feel guilty. So prayerfully consider, get in touch with my sister, support her financially, and please pray. Pray for her emotional strength, financial, and just the daily ins and outs of being a missionary, even stateside. Thanks. Have a great one.